All right, guys, week 5, waiver wire gems, Johnny B, UpsideDownDrafting.com. Hope you're well tonight. I took a loss. It's my own fault. I did not start Bilal Powell. Jets, running back. Did you notice how many dump passes? Did you notice how many carries he had between the tackles where Seattle was like focused on Matt Forte and here comes Bilal Powell? That's why I drafted him. That's why Upside Down Drafting works. Yes, there are some weeks this happens where I have some backup, you can call them, running backs like Tevin Coleman or Charles Sims that just don't have the kind of weeks they had last week. But lo and behold, that's why I have a few other guys like Powell. Now, I didn't start him. I understand. I was talking about him last week. That's my fault. But I think the rest of my squad just underperformed. You could take a look at what happened. I'm 3-1. I'm moving on. You know, that's just what happens. If you recall, I was talking about Chris Thompson week 2, Washington Redskins. Whether you grabbed him or not, I still think he's a radar guy you might want to take a look at. Had some good, nice looks. Hunter Henry as well. We talked about him last week. Here's a guy who ran 42 routes, and Travis Kelce ran the most. I think out of all the tight ends, he ran close to 50. I think the number was actually 49. Greg Olsen had 44. Dennis Pitta, who we've talked about, had 43. And then Cameron Brate, who I recommended last week as well, had 36. A lot of guys are talking about snap counts and all this stuff, but it is interesting to start diving in deeper statistics on the routes ran. I like Hunter Henry. I think while Gates is out, I mean, he is the future. They're going to have to start working him in. And what a disappointing loss for the San Diego Chargers. I mean, to give the game away like that, they're going to be pissed. Phillip Rivers is going to come back even harder. He's going to come back stronger. He's really, really going to air these things out. And right now, that middle guy right there, Hunter Henry, I'm going to see some, hopefully, some screen passes to Hunter Henry. That would be nice to see what happens. But I just think if you play in a PPR, he's a nice guy to have. And if you don't have him, now you're going to have to pay a price to go get him. Kenneth Dixon, we talked about him last week. Yeah, that's fine. West for the Ravens. He's playing well, and people are starting to say, well, it's now it's Terrence West. Don't worry about Kenneth Dixon. I disagree because we're talking about golden nuggets here, waiver wire gems, and I am putting him again in week 5. Hopefully everyone's got the message by now. Shit, I mean, I'm thinking back to even week 1 or week 2, although it wasn't mentioned. I mean, I hope people had him in mind, and now you got to get him. This is it. This is the last chance. A lot of you guys listening, you already understand, hey, I mean, this is old news, but for those that haven't, this is it. Last week I talked about this guy, Kenneth Dixon. Get him on your team. Get him on the bench. If, you have an opportunity to get Paul Perkins right here, 8% of your budget is fine. Don't go crazy with that. But I am recommending a strong push for Dixon. Enough said there. Running backs of week 5. Let's take a look at the wide receiver. Bryce Butler for the Cowboys. Let's go about 8%. If you really need a receiver, you can go a little higher than that. But like what I see there, Dez is clearly going to take some more time. And I think with Dak Prescott throwing the ball like he is, Butler is a nice price. He's a nice guy you can get. Chris Conley, another guy. Okay. Chris Conley's interesting, right? Out of Georgia, I think he's 205 pounds. This is his second season. He had, 6 receptions for 70 yards? And Alex Smith is developing a nice relationship with him. So there you have it. I think he's a nice guy to have. If you want to bury him on your bench, that's fine too. But again, you want to just improve every week. That's the whole point of this show. Try to just make small adjustments, little bites, okay? How to eat an elephant. This is the oldest line in the book. 1 bite at a time. You can never swallow an elephant. No one can ever eat an elephant. But if you take these small little chunks every week and you get that much better. Chris Conley, save him on the bench, right? He could be the next big thing for Kansas City. Now, the tight ends, we already talked about Cameron Brate, but Hunter Henry, I mean, now you got to go pay for him. See, this is the problem. Last week there was a chance for you to get him, whether you did that or not. It's up to you. But here's my thing on tight ends, okay? Injuries are going to get way worse than what you see now. So my advice this year is to take a younger tight end. I don't think this is the year of the tight end. Those years are kind of behind us. But I do know that this crop of tight ends or wide receivers this year, I like healthy young players. And in this season, if you're going to make a run, it'd be nice to have a guy like this, because as you get further and further down the line towards the playoffs, these are the guys you want to have locked and ready on your bench, and you're preventing somebody else from taking them. So there you go. Hunter Henry again on the tight end. The defense, I got killed here. I picked the Jets. Seattle, hey, hats off to them. I missed one, okay? Out of the 4 weeks I missed. Week 5, I'm going to go with the Niners. They are my team, and they just lost Navarro Bowman, but I still think on a short week, Arizona's going to have a tough task. I don't know what the situation is with Carson Palmer, but I like a lot of interceptions on this Thursday night game, a lot of forced throws, and yeah, that's great. They can run the ball with David Johnson. Arizona can, but I still think the Niners are going to stop them there. And Thursday night football, typically a lower scoring game. These guys are tired, so there you go. Week 5 Niners. There you have it. Again, if you want to take a look at who I drafted, when I drafted, I've suffered some major injuries this year. Who hasn't? But again, here's the guy that was talking about last week that I did not play. I should have known better. Here's the guy I like to see some big things coming from pretty soon. I got some. I think I got some issues here with Clive Walford here for my tight end there, but I've already made some adjustments. If you've been watching the show, Hunter Henry, obviously I got him. So that's that, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Something that came through an email the other day that somebody was asking me about my little chart here. This is my own advice. Okay, I didn't get this from another website. I wrote a book about this. And I truly, honestly think that your draft is 57% of this pyramid, okay? And where we are right now, well, this 3% injury, gosh, this year you could raise that a lot. You could probably double that or triple that. But really, where we are now is in-season management, okay? You have to be an expert on the waiver wire. Make your waiver nights count. Go to Taco Tuesday, sure, that's fine. But whenever you can, find your study. Find what you're going to do. I've been playing this thing for 20 years, man, and waiver wire night is my favorite, so I hope this helps you out. I'll look back. Some of the guys I've been recommending so far have been doing okay. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and again, you want to find the players before they hit the radar screen. We are landing planes. All kinds of players are still in the air. They want to land on the runway. You want to find the guy before the landing gear hits. And I always reference back to my Thomas Rawls call last year. I got him 2 weeks in advance before anybody knew about him. And that's what you have to do. I think one last thing I'd like to throw in here. My favorite quote, at last check, humans cannot do thoughts. You have to act on your thoughts. Right? No one in the history of mankind has ever been able to act on a thought. You have to actually do something. So if you're thinking about a stud or a runner, wide receiver, tight end, whatever, that I haven't mentioned, and you have a gut instinct, then go get him. Don't just think about it. These intuitions that come through in your gut check is huge, because I can give you some advice here, but you're going to know best for your league, and it's just a bummer when you have a guy in mind and you don't do anything about it. So I hope that helps. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate all the looks, and just I wish you guys the best as you take care of this season. And we're gonna talk playoffs pretty soon once we get to that point. This has been Johnny B, UpsideDownDrafting.com. Thank you, guys. I'll see you on the next show. Talk to you later.